Hi, I'm Alistair, the Grumpy CIO. What am I grumpy about this week? Crap bosses. Who's had one? Who is one? Oh, hope not. But we should be bossing this bossing stuff. Now, slight operational risk moment for everybody who's invested in a customer of Shipshape. Our team may actually die laughing that I'm presenting this to everybody, but nonetheless, I'm going to press ahead. Right, how not to be a good boss. I've experienced a lot of these things. I hope you inform my own opinion, but here's some of the stuff I'm putting out. To start with some hygiene factors, time sheeting, measuring but the last 15 minutes, 5 minutes, everything that people do. It doesn't work, doesn't produce any increased productivity for you. It just pisses everybody off, and people just have an art of lying into it. Similarly, clock watching. Why? Like, if you have good staff and they're into it, you don't have to worry really about when they start or finish. They want to contribute, because otherwise, why would they be there? They're going to get into it. Most of the teams I've been involved in, the problem is actually clock watching to get people to go away and stop working because they're just into solving problems. Generally being an arse. Now, I'm not going to go into deep of it, but abusive behaviour, generally being, just don't. But very important, management by KPIs. This is something that's come up so much in the entirety of my career. You've got to have SMART goals, smart, measurable, specific, measurable, whatever. Just know, like, yes, KPIs are very important, but they help you manage. They are not the purpose or objective of managing. The idea that got put out so much in a load of management textbooks in my career is that if you can't manage it, you can't measure it, or the other way around, or whatever. You can see how much seriously I take it. No, like, you measure things in order to help you manage, not the other way round. There are certain things that are just non-negotiables: the P&L of the company, the balance sheet. Everything else is there to help you. All right, gratitude to who's helped and who's contributed and who's suffered for working with or for me. The entire Project Tango team, you know who you are from 2003 to 5. This image on the screen up here is of a Gollum or a Smeagol. Great bit of management feedback. This was my first attempt at bossing a team. They had they bought a toy for me for my birthday with a Gollum head, nasty, or a Smeagol head, nice. And I would walk back to my desk and generally get feedback from the team of how well I was doing as a boss by actually having either the Gollum or Smeagol head just left there. One time I clearly wasn't having a great day because somebody had taken the time to get some tissue paper, a red pen, and actually drill a hole and form Smeagol or Gollum being stabbed to death in the heart with all the red ink coming off the tissue paper. Clearly hadn't been my finest hour. Oh well. Let's go moving forward. Jenny War. Now, this was a lady who worked for me late noughties, and by this stage, I thought I was a pretty fucking amazing boss. I'm the man. Everybody loves working for me. And she just turned around to me. She had a very strong Irish accent that I'm not going to copy, and just basically told me I was a bit useless at this. What she did give me some specific feedback as to why, which I was able to incorporate, and we'll get back into lessons I've learned later. Marguerite Hudson taught me so much by basically being a really good boss. Fantastic. Everyone at Kaplan. I'd been a big corporate apparatchik person all the way through the noughties, and then came into Kaplan to work in smaller companies and high growth companies, and had to relearn how to do this again, and got taught by them so much. Fantastic. And finally, Richard Davis, you know who you are, taught me so much. So how to be a good boss? Well, for me, it goes in various stages. The requirements of being a good boss for someone working in a tech department actually changes by the time that they're actually there. So there's a very different mode before someone starts even and on their first day to when they've been there for a while. And I go through what I think have been learned and been taught from mistakes I've made one by one. So first of all, before they start, have a bullet point job description and remove the crap. Just if you can get a job description down to this and just talk through it with people, fantastic. Have what you want them to do for the first 3 weeks and first 90 days. Handwritten is actually great, or just a simple Google sheet or whatever that you've pulled together. It's much better than having the formal job description. It shows that you've thought about it. Very reassuring for the person on the first day that you've actually considered what they want to do, rather than just printed something off ChatGPT to say, here's your job description. Day one, show that you care about their working environment, how you'll pay them. I have worked in a place where they couldn't work out how to pay me 12 weeks after I started, and apparently it was my fault that I wasn't really very happy with that. What? Have a machine for them, make sure they have all the logins to the environment. Everybody cocks this up, including us at Shipshape and everybody a little bit, but try, and your staff will definitely appreciate it for you. Day 1 to 2, have very specific tasks. So again, before you get there, write down, I want you to do this over the next couple of days. Show that you've thought about it. Show that you've thought how these tasks matter to the job and to the company, how they're contributing straight away immediately, but also how they start them integrating the rest of the team so they can start to discover the job for themselves. Weeks 1 to 3, people are going to let them go, and very much my passionate belief is that people drive the ship themselves. And once you've worked out the different compartments of the ship, then let the people go and run them. And there's a book out there called Turn the Ship Around that both myself and my business partner who introduced it to me very firmly believe in. But for the first few weeks, while the team are still working out how to work together, do get involved in moulding it. Basically, they do all actual work. Your job is to be the boss. Do your bloody job and actually help the team go together, because somebody needs to make that decision. And it's unfair just to let people just have completely free whale. Everybody just gets annoyed with each other. But then once they're in space, they've worked out the job, norming, freedom. Again, as I've riffed on in previous videos, people in IT departments all over like solving problems. So let them, just give them the freedom to do so. There'll be overall company goals, project goals that everybody knows they've got to achieve. Just let them do it. There will be a period where you need to refresh it, and it's perfectly okay for somebody to come to you who's been working for a while and go, I'm bored. That doesn't mean they're a crap employee. It doesn't mean that they're a horrible team member. It doesn't mean that you should get rid of them. It literally means that they're bored. So how you've got a talented person, what are you going to do about that? Change up the job, change the job. It is worthwhile having this discussion. But this is a phase that goes through from like when you start through to the end, and hopefully I try and practice what I preach. I'm going to get slaughtered by all our team after I've put this out, going, the number of ways I haven't done this properly, and so many other different ways that I'm absolutely shit as being a boss. But these are all things that I've cocked up before over a 20-year period, sharing with you. There is a phase that you go through, and don't do it by bloody numbers and specific measurements like you read in so many management textbooks. It just is nonsense. Humans don't work that way, and people build software that builds products, that builds profits. Thanks for watching. I am Alistair, the CIO of www.shipshape.vc. Come to us to optimize your venture capital outreach. You find investors for us that will just get what you're talking about. Thank you.